know what time it is. Like this. So, everyone seems to really enjoy my nature walks. So I figured taking my puppy on a walk here, that I'd bring you guys with me. This is how I start my day. This is the first thing I do. Well, I used the bathroom first. And I laid in bed a little bit, but then I got up. Thought I'd bring you guys got some doves up here. Well, you might not be able to see them. They're up there. Isn't it beautiful? Morning sun. There we go. All right. So, just letting you guys know, it's my morning walk. There was a huge message when I woke up. And that's partly why I'm kind of like jumping the gun, right? Well, I guess I'm not jumping the gun, but I'm bringing you guys into my reality now. in this moment, this now moment. All right. So, a message that's really been coming through, like really, really strong, is that we all have different perceptions of reality. Which means we all have a different truth. Which means that no matter where you sit, your truth is true. And this goes for those who we don't agree with as well. And I think that that's... Ooh, woodpecker. I think that that's a beautiful message. That in order to have the whole truth, it requires the whole picture. It requires both sides of the story, right? You often hear that saying, there are two sides to every story. What's that referencing? It's referencing quite literally duality. There's always two sides to every story, and then you could take that a step further. There are more than just two sides. If you look at like understanding we have a 360 degree view, there theoretically is an entire circle. Yeah, we are all fractals, exactly. I think of, I love to think of it as like trees. I look at trees, like look, I'm walking by them right now. So you got all of these trees, even the birch trees. So birch trees are a lot like, if you're not familiar, birch trees are a lot like aspen trees. It's all the same tree. It's like a little family of trees. It's all the same tree though. They root out similar to fungus. So all of these trees, they're different trees, a bunch of different types of trees. My doggy likes to smell right here. He liked to poop here the other day. But all of these trees have a different perspective of reality. Come on, bub. And each tree's perspective is no less true or more true than the next tree. And taking that even further, right? Just kind of continuing forward with that. We as a collective, we each are a tree. We each have roots, whether we can see them or not. We have energetic roots that reach down into Mother Earth every step we take. There's a chakra beneath our feet we have forgotten we are connected to. And we become this middle hologram. Something that's really been coming up to my attention lately is like, we have 7 chakras within our system. But then those 7 chakras have what could be perceived as external chakra points, but the portal is within. Come on, bud. And the Earth Star chakra, the Crown Star chakra, and what some people consider the You can consider it the shaman chakra or the 8th chakra, right? Those, the earth star chakra and the shaman chakra create a mirror of this being. So think about that. If we all create mirrors with our energetic systems, now you understand how energy workers do their thing. They simply create a mirror for you to reflect back to yourself what you need to hear. Come on, buddy. What are you doing? You got a pee-pee? Okay. Sometimes he likes pee and it's just not good. But think about that. Like, we each are a mirror. That's what they mean by a reflection. We are each a reflection of one another. Yeah, literally like our own vehicle. So you've heard of the Merkaba, right? So something that a lot of people don't know, and something that my guides have kind of have opened up to me about over the last couple years is Earth had a lot of protection. Earth still has a lot of protection. The grid became infiltrated by those who ended up, and here's the thing, like, this is something that I love, but it fucks your brain up a little bit. The dark masters that a lot of people talk about that are controlling that level of energy, there are other aspects of us. Isn't that wild? Hey, Joy. Thank you for joining me on my nature walk this morning. But yeah, the dark masters are other aspects of ourselves. And we would not be able to ascend if we did not have those energies or those entities doing what they are doing. Right? So when you look at the structure and the system that's going on, and I actually love this. Pleiades mentioned this. If you're not familiar with them, I'll probably drop it in the comment after I post the video to link to their profile. But we have to demolish the current structure and system and build a new one, which is as our souls evolve, that's sort of what happens. And we are building momentum. And the more that we stand up, right? So what do I mean by that? There's a few people in here, right? So if those watching this video, those in on this video right now, who are a part of it, myself, the rest of the collective who's awakened, as those individuals start to stand in their truth. Whoa, it looks like a dolphin in the sky. You see that right there? It looks like a dolphin. All right. Dolphin's my spirit animal, or one of them. Anyways. But as we stand in our truth, the structure will have to begin to crumble. But it's going to take us, like, more people have to start walking without a mask on in their neighborhood. More people have to start standing up to the system, to the structure. Because if we don't stand up to the structure, then they think that they have us under control. That's not free thinking in my mind. You know what I mean? Like, right now, I'm not gonna lie, right now, I wear a mask when needed. But my guides asked me the other day, and it was one of the weirdest things in the world. They were like, would you sit in jail for what you believe in? And I was like, that's a tough question, man. That's a tough question. Because you're asking me to put a lot of things to the side to sit in jail for something I believe in. And they're like, well, do you believe in what you believe in? I'm like, yeah. I mean, I do believe in what I believe in. It is true. Like, I do see the mind control, the manipulation, and think about this. Those who are so controlled by the system right now, they need people like us, who know what's going on, who know the truth. White butterfly? That is, so, you don't know this, and I know you don't know this. My partner the other day saw a spirit butterfly outside of our window, a white spirit butterfly. So, that's extremely synchronistic. But yeah, we as individuals have to continue standing up, standing in our truth. It's standing for what we believe in, and think about this. What is the structure without you and I? If we stopped using grocery stores and started planting our own plants, what happens? Right? If we start meditating and connecting to the divine within, and we begin getting downloads on free energy, what happens to the structure then? They can try and stop us, but now there's too many people awake for that to happen. I know I've personally gotten downloads on free energy. All it takes is a little bit of water underneath the ground and a pyramid on top. Kind of like Egypt, huh? So just think about that. If the 99% turned around and looked at the 1% in the eyes and said, you don't have control over me anymore. Fuck off. Imagine what would happen. All we got to do is turn our TVs off and start living life. Literally. Turn your damn TV off and start living life. Right? If you feel called to be an influencer, do things that you can bring that audience into your life. Right? Like, that's something that I'm working on more, is allowing people into my life more. Understanding that people enjoy these types of walks. People want to listen to what I have to say. People want to hear what you have to say. You just don't know it yet. You may not know it yet. You may not see that within yourself yet. But people do genuinely want to hear truth. And they want to hear love. And they want to hear compassion. And if you've listened to the TV recently, everybody sounds like a motherfucking robot. They sound programmed and scripted. There's no emotion in their voice. Have you listened to any of the, and this is something I did not too long ago, and I only encourage this if you have the ability to separate yourself from what's happening. But take a moment and listen to, because they broadcast them on C-SPAN. But take a moment and listen to what's happening in the government, if they even are there. I'm pretty sure that they've kind of left and are just allowing the program to run itself. Why do I say that? I used to work at a grocery store. I was looking around one day, and I was like, man, they got a lot of dead people walking in here. And then I was like, all right, I'm just going to keep an eye out and see what's going on. So I kept watching around, and all of a sudden I began to see. No one wants to send us food from their country anymore. No one wants to work with us. And by no one, I just mean the 1% have gotten so good at dividing us that they think they've gotten us to believe that other countries don't like us, when in reality it's all the same business people in all of the really popular countries dividing us. They're all sitting together. Think about this. We have leaders from around the world sitting together, conjuring up ways to divide us. And we're allowing them to do that. And it's okay. It's part of the process. It's not an easy process to watch happen, but again, the only way to awaken is for something to happen so drastic that you have no other choice but to look. And, something else that really came through was, and this is something that I've experienced myself. Maybe you've been in a situation like this where someone says something to you and you're like, that doesn't resonate with me. That's not my truth. But you hold your tongue. You don't say anything to them. Sometimes that's appropriate. This is our collective time to awaken for all humanity. You're 100% correct, Thunderstar. But something I want to say is when your heart starts to race and you're standing in front of someone and they intimidate you, but your heart's racing and you know you should say something, that's the moment you do it. That's the moment when your heart is shaking, your voice is trembling, that you choose to do something different.
Put it inside that door there and just put it out near the window. I didn't know that.
This is a little uncomfortable. Sorry, my Mala got a little uncomfortable. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna let the nature speak for a minute. So beautiful out here. I love the way the sun shines through the trees in the morning when the sun's coming up. Like, maybe you've heard of it, like the golden hour. It's just like everything is just shining. Yes, changing timelines by Radical Truth. I really enjoyed that. Thank you. I think this young gentleman is getting a hot tub. Isn't it beautiful out here though? Happy trees, yeah, we are happy. I love when it starts to get a little bit warmer because you can, my left ear just started ringing really loud. You can tell, when it starts to get warmer, you can tell the trees get a little happier because, like, I mean, not only are they budding, but specifically the pine trees, they kind of perk up a little bit. So pretty out here. There's my puppy. His name is Muck. I'm glad you can feel the nature coming through. That warms my heart. Something I've been doing on my own. It's like, I guess part of my own journey, part of my own path is being able to transmute, transform, and transfigure what no longer serves, and then simultaneously being able to amplify those energies. Whoa, got some rays coming through. You see that? Ooh, baby. Sexy. So, what do I mean by like transmuting, transforming, and transfiguring energy that no longer serves and then amplifying that does serve? So, maybe you're not familiar with, isn't that awesome? Maybe you're not familiar with how the masculine and the feminine energy works, right? And maybe you are, you know. There's so much depth to it that it's opal-like race. Yes, I love when it has the shimmer. So the feminine energy is like a magnet. The masculine energy is like lightning. But I don't want to say lightning. So as the feminine draws to it, the masculine has the ability to project. Does that make sense? So maybe you've heard of Lemuria and Atlantis. One of the biggest downfalls between these two colonies was that Atlantis was very masculine predominant, forward, masculine forward, whereas Lemurian was very much so one with nature and one with earth. Now, a lot of folks. So actually, before there was Lemuria, there was Mu. Maybe we should start there. So first there was Mu. Mu existed whole. Now, Mu experienced a catastrophic event similar to Atlantis, where it was washed or wiped out. This was the first fracture of consciousness on Earth. Now, what happened was a natural cycle of Earth. However, Mu did not know that. The consciousness of Mu did not know that, because Mu was a relatively new civilization within Earth's structure. You can think of it this way, as Earth was created as heaven. Like, Earth is heaven. It is the heart. It is where the vulnerability lies. I'm sure there aren't any cars coming. I'm gonna turn around right here. I'm getting close to the road and I can't hear my brain when I get even closer. So you have Mu, and it collapsed through natural cataclysmic events, as Earth naturally has within her cycles. You think of Kali, the goddess Kali. She's known for being very destructive. Oftentimes the feminine energy is associated with destruction, but it's also associated with life, which is beautiful, I think. But Mu collapsed, which brought about Lemuria in Atlantis, the first split in consciousness. And since then, we've just continued to fragment. And this fragmentation is kind of how we've gotten where we are. That's why think about it, we have 7 chakras, right? There are 7 countries, or 7 not 7 countries. Wow, Micah, 7 countries. Where are you at? There's 7 continents. I think there might be a little bit more if you count Antarctica and you know what I'm talking about, South Pole and Antarctica. Are they the same thing? South Pole and Antarctica are the same thing. I'm sorry. Forgive my brain there. The North Pole and the South Pole. We'll just go that way. There's a little creek right here. So you have that split between Mu and Lemuria and Atlantis. And then this is where things kind of begin to get wonky, right? Most of the individuals that were here from Mu were, in a sense, what do you call it? Refugees from other planets that were war-torn. So some of you may be familiar with the Lyra-Vega galactic interactions, galactic wars and such. What you see happening on Earth is a reflection of what has been happening for millennia. Only we haven't been fighting for quite some time as far as outside of Earth space. So the galactic wars have been over for a while. However, Earth was closed off to any outside help for an ascension cycle. And with Earth being closed off from outside help from an ascension cycle, that's where you see the dark ages, right? And we're talking, right now I'm talking in vast amounts of time. So I'm not talking this human construction, I'm talking beyond that time construction. Andromeda was neutral. I may be from there. Actually from the Andromedan Council, part of the Federation. So now you may know a little bit more about why I know so much. I'm still awakening though. So yeah, just take that into account. Like, what we are seeing now are the ripples of us being closed off from outside help. And within the last, I think 2012 was really when we really started to gain that true help from our other selves, from other portions of us in other galaxies and such, right? So with that knowledge, with knowing that, right, the only people fighting themselves are us here on Earth. We're not fighting each other in space anymore. We haven't for quite some time. It's been very peaceful, actually. Again, like I said, the dark energies or the dark masters, the other aspects of ourselves on Earth, they don't want to face their consequences. All right? Does that make sense? They don't want to face their consequences. They want to continue living like kings and queens, even though they've done a lot of harm to people. And I'm not, I want to say this again, right? There's a part of me that is a part of that. And I can't deny that. As there are, because we are a collective consciousness. Come on, Bob. Please don't lick that pee. Thank you. So yeah, as we awaken, we begin to remember these things. And I think that's part of the beauty. So yeah, it's just about us speaking our truth. And that's what shifts realities. Because you start speaking your truth, you start spelling into reality something new. Isn't that wonderful? All right. I'm almost home now, so I'm gonna hop off of here. I'm gonna do some journaling, pull some tarot cards for the day. Thank you all for joining me on this walk. I really do appreciate it. Again, without someone listening, why would I speak my truth? Even if I take that back. I speak my truth whether I'm the only one listening or not. Someone hears me. And so, we exit the matrix. I said this the other day. What if exiting the matrix has nothing else to do with but us freeing our minds? What if that is all freeing the matrix is? Freeing our minds. So yeah, thank you all. Thank you. I'll see you later, Nina. Thank you, Thunderstar. I think Intelligence of the Movement. Didn't you say your name was Joanne? Is that what your name was? Forgive me. It'll take me a minute to remember, but I'll remember eventually. Thank you all. Infinite love, infinite light, infinite balance, and infinite movement, my friends. Namaste.